So, one group that I'm extremely interested in um, is any group associated with substance use, particularly that of AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, um, which coincides with our other class that we're doing right now, the addictions treatment. Um, I have I personally have not been in an AA group. I have been in a few different um, Celebrate Recovery groups, which is similar, but I like AA because it's more faith based and not necessarily Christian based, which in my opinion is two different things. Um, so after studying and reading the chapter and stuff, and even looking over at the book that we're using in the addictions class, the addiction treatment, a strengths perspective by Catherine Van Warmer and Diane Ray Davis, um, I figured the best model to work with um, group therapies in an alcoholic anonymous or any substance abuse would be the cognitive behavioral theory models. Um, uh, in our book, Essentials of Clinical Social Work by Gerald R. Brandel, the behavioral theory seeks to add to our understanding of how external events, referred to as stimuli, create, maintain, or diminish individual behaviors, which to me sounds like a pretty good model to work with when it comes to substance use because I know in my own experience, I can become kind of sensitive to external stimuli, especially if it's negative or directed at me or, you know, and I would in turn drink or smoke or, do whatever to try to mask those feelings of, worthlessness or invalidation or whatever. And I'm since learning mostly on my own of how to, you know, have better ways of dealing with things. And the model of AA seems to really work with that as far as diving deeper into your spiritual self, understanding who you are. Um, and with the group therapy in the other book that we're using in the other class, I went and studied a little bit in it. And it says that group therapy that teaches coping skills and relapse prevention using cognitive behavioral approaches ranks highest in effectiveness and continues to provide evidence that it is at least as good, if not better, than individual behavior therapy. Um, so I draw upon my own experience with these issues, and I've never really felt uncomfortable in a group setting in a Celebrate Recovery, substance use setting, because I know that everybody in the group has struggled as well, even the leaders. Um, so it's a familiar group. We know our struggles, and we're open, and people talk. And even if you're not open, it's okay. You're there, and that's a big part of it. Um, as far as social justice issues, that one kind of stumped me a little bit. But reading in the book, it says that workers and members should consider whether the issues or problems of the members are related to forms of oppression. Now, like I said, I've been in several different substance use groups and groups for mental health as well, because of course the two coincide. And there is a lot of, a lot of different ages, different ethnic backgrounds, usually we separate between men and women in substance use classes. Um, and I think that's a good thing. Substance use. I think that maybe there needs to be, a class where we're all involved, a group where we're all involved, and then a separate group where it's just men or it's just women. But even within that group, the ones that I've been in, there's usually people of, Spanish backgrounds or, or a lot older or disabled in some way. And we have to look at that as a potential for the reason, one of the reasons maybe why they have substance use issues. Racism is still unfortunately quite big, um, and I can try to put myself in a similar situation of someone who's been oppressed or something. And I couldn't imagine. I mean, I'm a white guy, and I still struggle out here. Is I could imagine being, you know, someone who may be more exposed to forms of racism or oppression. I couldn't even imagine. So that's why I advocate so much to drop that stuff and to better understand each other. Uh, as far as what I would do about it in a group setting, I would make sure that we are all on the same page and that any kind of talk of oppression or racism or negativity towards anybody else that may appear different to you would not be tolerated. And, you will probably exit the group. Um, so, yeah, I'm excited to. We actually have to go to AA class for our other. We have to go to our AA group for our other class, which is something I'm really looking forward to doing because, as most of you know, I am in active recovery, and I have noticed myself slipping here lately a little bit, and I have had some personal struggles the past couple weeks. Um, Seems like the past will always come a knocking, try to bring you back down. But I'm not letting it. I'm not letting it. So I'm looking forward to seeing this AA class. Like I said, I've never been in one, but I love the model of it, so I'm excited to do it. In this class and with these personal struggles I've also got going on, it's a good excuse to do it. I believe it's happening for a reason. So we'll see how it goes.